Several ways of launching an application, and I'm going to show you in the PuppyLinux. There's several native apps, for example, prun, which we'll go through quickly here, and then also gexec. But there's numerous other Linux applications, but that works well in PuppyLinux is also rofi, which is one that I use. But we'll look at briefly in some of the other PuppyLinux application that's already built in. I'm going to show you mainly in Fossa Pup64 CE4 is a recent variant of Fossa Pup64. So this already comes in with a prun. Of course, the oldest way of launching an application is just by using the a menu that's already built in, is part of a JWM window manager in PuppyLinux. So, but here you can go ahead and go through whatever the program that you want to launch with a package manager, Puppy package manager, or setup, or whatever you need to do. But it takes several seconds at least, especially if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. So most basic is of course just using the terminal. So you can just open up a terminal, and then let's say if you want to look at the Puppy package manager, you can either type in the full name or just go ahead and then it'll bring up the Puppy package manager. So similarly, if you want to start any program actually, so let's say Firefox, and then the one that's installed here on a PuppyLinux Fossa Pup64 is a Firefox ESR, and you can go ahead and then so that's the oldest way of just go ahead and typing in the name in the terminal. So we'll just go ahead and close that, and then we'll just go ahead and refresh. Let me just get out of there, and then CE4 comes already with the prun already installed, and your PuppyLinux may not have prun that's already installed, and I'll leave a description under description of where you can download prun 1.7.pet file. All you have to do is to activate it. Just go ahead and click on it, a single click of course, and then you'll install it in your PuppyLinux. So once installed, what you can do is just bring it up in the Fossa Pup64 default key binding is Windows key and R, I believe. So here it is, yes, Windows key and R. Then you have this prun, and then you can type in whatever, let's see, so Puppy setup. So let's say Puppy apps, or let's see, what should we look for? So we can look for rocks filer. Okay, so we can just go ahead and enter rocks, and then rocks is enough, just so you can see the file manager starts. So that's basically what you do, is just go ahead and type in whatever you want, and then but there are some preferences you can modify, and preferences here. So you can width of the GUI window can be changed to a higher number, for example, so it'll be wider, and then we can go ahead and certainly do that. And then let's go ahead and make it fairly wide, 800, or you can just go ahead and have discontinue mini GUI. That small window is mini GUI. We can go ahead and disable it, and then we can make the window application larger and height wise, and we can go ahead and make it large, 300, and then it's going to be much wider. And we're going to say auto close. It means that after you go ahead and launch an application through the prun, this window will just auto close. Terminal URXVT is fine. And then you can also set up another key that on a default in FossaPup 64 CE4 is window and R, window key and R, but you can go ahead and change that or take a look. Control ALTR can also be a hot key, and that only works after you reboot or restart the graphic server. So, but that's basically so we change the configuration, and let's say what it looks like. So okay, now you can see it's much wider, and it's slightly too wide, but then you can see actually the programs that you can go ahead and launch. So I see the A sounder, so that's a CD program, so A sounder, and then you can just type in couple of key, and then you can go ahead and A sounder restart. So that's the program. So we can go ahead and close that, and then just bring up the prun again, super Windows key and R. Okay, so those are basically how you can configure. Width is too wide, so let me just go ahead and bring it down to so that's how you can use this. So I was trying to quickly find out how to make these a little larger, but I was unable to find out exactly how to do that. But basically that's the prun. Now there is a gexec was already installed, so you can go ahead and exec, and then we can just run it. And then so here's the command gexec, and then we can just go ahead and run a command. Let's say gparted, and then gparted you can run certainly from the terminal emulator, and let's see what that looks like. So it starts very quickly. So that's how you use that. And then gexec, certainly you can go ahead and launch it this way. So gexec, or you can go ahead and put it on the desktop, for example. So we can go ahead and quickly try to do that, and then we'll go to USR and share applications, and then gexec, so we can go ahead and drag it, left the mouse and drag it over here, and then you can go ahead and certainly use it just by clicking on it. So here's the command and every word. Now if you want to bind a keyboard bind a gexec, rather than just clicking on the desktop icon, so I'll just quickly show you. So what you need to do is go to the root directory, and we'll see what we needed to go to .jwm folder, and then load this personnel file into Genie. Right click and then Genie, and then we'll go ahead and enlarge it. So what we need to do is set up a keyboard, for example, so you can go ahead and click here, just to copy, and then let's say go ahead and Control V just to paste, and then we're gonna say this 4 is a window or super key, so we're gonna say space bar here. Space is all you need, and then you say gexec, and then we're gonna save it. So after you restart the JWM by the command of, let's say, we're gonna say, so we save the file, we need to reread the modified personnel file, so we can go ahead and force it to reread it by giving a command of JWM space dash restart. And then now, assuming that there is no other super and space bar is assigned, so assuming that this is the only gexe is assigned, so we can go ahead and try it. Super and space bar, so here it is. So we have a gexe command that's keyboard bound. So similarly, prun can also be bound to this key up, obviously. So you can just go ahead and prun here, and so we can go ahead and close that, and then we're going to rerun the terminal command and restart again, and then we're going to close, and then now we're going to be the Windows key and space bar, and now you can see that prun is running. So now we're going to go through how to set up rofi, which is a application launcher that's used in all of pretty much all of Linux distributions. So go ahead and type in rofi up here in the window, and then we'll go ahead and get it all in alphabetical order. A lot of application is showing up, so we'll go down to the R, and then here is rofi. So I've actually just installed it just before the videotape, so after you go ahead and click and do it, and it'll install. So it's already installed. So after install, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and just open up the what we have to do is we have to bind it to a keyboard in PuppyLinux. So what you have to do is go to the root folder here and go to .jwm and go ahead and open up JWMRC personnel file, which is actually I have it right here, so it's already opened. And when I was showing how to run the prun, I had it key bound to window key and space bar. But with this rofi, I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and you can go ahead and copy this here. Just copy, and then I've actually just installed it here. So this is actually exactly the same. So this is gonna activate a rofi to my liking. So you can go ahead and copy this if you, and then here actually we'll just use a monospace and make it a little small, maybe 14, and then go ahead and save it. Now, so you have to make sure that there's no other key is assigned to control spacebar, but so we know that that's unlikely in this case. So after that's done, we saved it in this file now, and we're gonna force it to reread the so urxvt, that's fine, and then we're gonna say force it to reread the modified personnel file. So we're gonna give that command. Now we're gonna launch the rofi with a control spacebar. So we'll go ahead and control spacebar, and you can see that rofi has started. So for example, if I want to get a calculator, and then all I have to do is calc G calculator okay, GAL. So, and then we can go down, and then you can see the calculator is starting. So that's this is my preference, and I find it very much quicker than going through the menu and finding it, or starting from the terminal or whatever. So I hope this is helpful to you. Thanks.